Good evening or good morning. I think I've been drinking or something. Get my show kicked off. I'm E.C. White, Hard Luck himself. So welcome to the show, Hard Luck Blues Show. And my guest tonight is Mr. Muleman from what parts of Mississippi?
Born in Clarksdale, down in the Delta.
Oh, yeah. So welcome to the Hard Luck TV show. And man, just appreciate you.
Oh, Mr. White, I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We miss it for the world.
Thank you again. And tell us something about Muleman.
Well, I raise mules, and I've been
So
doing
that's
that
how
most
you
of my
come
life.
by that, huh?
Well, yes, a lot of folks want to know how I come about that. And but that's how I got my name, Muleman. Big Jack Johnson, the oil man, gave me my name.
Okay.
He come up. I raised hogs, and he come from the Chicago Blues Festival. Pulled up at my house. He wanted to look at my hog pen, and he pulled right on across the yard. When he did, we went up there, and I slipped my boots on, as they say, and I walk up there where he's at, and he doing like this.
On hog?
On that hog. You already know what they smell
Jeez.
like. And I'm like, what are you doing, Mr. Jack? And he said, it bring back memories. And I said, really? He said, you don't know how lucky you are. I said, well, my wife don't think it's too lucky when that wind get out of the south.
Yeah.
And so we got to talking, and my buddy Blind Mississippi Morris here,
Yep, I know.
I told him
Morris.
I needed a blues name. You know, this was years ago. I said, and he said, well, maybe you ought to be the Duke of Clarksdale. I said, I don't even know what no Duke is. So that's when Big Jack, a mule of mine, walked up about that time, and I went to rubbing on it. And I said, why can't I be called Muleman? And that's when he turned around and said, that's what we're going to call you from here on out. So that's how, but started out down in the Delta. You know, started out on that notorious Parchman Farm.
Oh, okay.
Buka White, Lead Belly, all your blues greats. Even Elvis's daddy did a little stay down there.
You actually met, what's the guy name you just called?
Big Jack Johnson?
No, the other one, the other guy. Lead Belly.
Lead Belly? No, sir. Yeah. I didn't meet him because that was back
oh,
in the
yeah,
day.
That's what I was thinking.
No, sir. I was just at the place where they all started their music, which was on Parchman Prison Farm.
Wow.
And I had done a little stay there as a young man. I made some bad decisions, and in a small town in Mississippi, it didn't take too much to put you there, as they say.
Yeah.
And so when I went down there, I had sold some cannabis, which is now marijuana, which is now in dispensaries all around the state.
Yeah.
But they give me 666, 6 years, 6 years, and 6 years for less than an ounce.
Wow.
Some sale charges. So it got a lot of attention. I was blessed 3 years ago. I got put in the Library of Congress because of that. But I started at 19 years old. A guy heard me walking the fence in the prison. And when he did, then he said, man, you ought to try out for the prison band. I'm like, man, I ain't never sung in a microphone. He ain't never talked in one much. If I ever did, I don't remember. And he got me the audition that changed my life. So
wow.
I sang my way into the prison band, and 2 weeks later I was warming up for B.B. King at Medgar Evers Ball Field in Fayette, Mississippi. That was my first show.
Wow.
They'd shackle us down, you know, in a van, and we'd go to the show, and they'd unshackle us behind the stage, and then the guards would have guns beside the stage. And
wow.
They would walk us up on the stage, and we would perform for you, and then we would go and they'd shackle us back down and take us back to the farm, and that's where I started my music. That's where I found the blues.
Oh, okay. Man, that's awesome. I was going to ask you about that, but you laid it out there.
Well, it's 31 years ago. It wasn't like it was yesterday. Married my high school sweetheart there, NICU nurse. And she works at the Med here in Memphis with the little real sick babies.
Yeah.
and Elizabeth Massey, and she stuck it out with me, and we got married on Parchment Farm. I had my first child, not really by planning all this. God had a different plan, so when we finally got together like Romeo and Juliet.
That's what's the name of that town? Parchment is that?
Drew?
Drew.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Man, I go through there going to Greenwood all the time.
I bet you don't stop, do you?
Oh no, I don't. Actually, I stopped going through that car. I got lost a couple of times.
Yeah, they'll
Just
help you
making
get
that
found.
left.
They'll help you get found. The
Yeah, but
K9
it's-
will, if you get 2.5 miles on each side of that gate,
Mhm.
they're gonna pull over. You know, if you pull over, they got a sign that says you can't stop. You remember that? By prison, by the Parchment Farm, when you go by, for 2.5 miles on each side of it, on 49, it says you can't stop. You know, because they
Wow.
think you're gonna be picking up somebody that would be escaping. You know.
Yeah.
So when they put the Blues Trail marker up down there, another little story, I didn't know I was on it. And so I go down there just to see the unveiling of the Blues Trail marker, and happy because you can stop now for about 10 minutes. They won't let you stay long to take pictures by it, right by the front gate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, look at here, we winning. We winning. And,
10 minutes.
Yeah, so I go down there and
But
my
if
wife.
you're there longer than that,
Sir,
if you're longer than 10
then they'll
minutes,
come
at
over
the-
and tell you, they're not going to really ask you that you need to move on. You can't.
Wow.
Yeah, they still don't let you stay there long.
well, I like going through there looking at it, and I wish more of the younger people had an opportunity to go through there and see what Parchment is like.
It wouldn't take but one visit. I mean, one night down there would change a lot of these guys that think that they want to be tough.
Bad guys.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's a house full of them down there. And I go back now, you know, but when they unveiled the trail marker that day, somebody said, your name's on it. And I didn't know that I was even on it. It was very emotional.
Wow.
You know, so it talked about the BB coming down and playing for the inmates and all the different things, but then it talked about a group of trustees, is kind of what it's saying. I ain't quoting it all the way, but a group of trustees that toured the state or did over 200 shows a year. And Wendell Cannon had started it, he was a rockabilly guy that was with Farron Young.
Yep, I remember.
Hello, Walls, how things
Yep.
go for you today? All them old country songs.
Was he from Nashville?
I'm not for sure. Mr. Wendell was actually from the Delta, but he got hooked up with Farron, and then during that, I think he just decided that, you know, the road wasn't, he wanted to start a family. So the governor was a friend of Farron and him, and made this position for him to work with inmates. And he did it for over 40 something years. He worked with inmates, and I think I'm probably one of the only ones that took it though, as far as, you know, when you go to prison, they'll show you how to be a locksmith. I never understood that, you know, but anyway, but
Wow.
But I, and on the other hand, learned my trade was music. So that's what I learned there. It's what saved my life. It was the only thing that didn't lie to me, and it still had never lied to me. You know, my music has always been there for
Well,
me.
I ain't gonna let you come to Memphis and not ask you about your friend, my friend, Mr. A. How did you meet Mr. A?
Oh, I'm sure it was with Preacher Man, Jesse Dotson.
Oh, yeah.
Who else? God, dog.
I know all those
Bill
guys.
Corday.
Bill Corday.
Corday, yeah.
Yep,
Get
I
me
know.
right. Oh,
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
And man, you want to talk about a showman, was Preacher Man when he walked around singing and
Yeah.
laying across the table, and the woman be wiping his head with sweat, you know, and I'm like,
Preacher Man.
yeah, I said,
Yep.
and he just letting it out, and I'm like, man, this is what I want to do.
Well, I'm
so that's
glad.
where I think I met Mr. A. was at one of those shows, Denise
Oh,
LaSalle. You know,
So
I was
you
always hanging, you know.
You've always played with most of the great blues people.
Well, I don't know if I was really playing or just striving to be one of them, or wanting to be around you to see what you're doing.
Well, you're an awesome blues man.
That means a lot for you to say
Yeah,
that.
I met you playing that at some place Mr. A did a show at, and it's been a long time ago. And next time I met you with Little Howlin' Wolf, and I remembered you, that unique name, Mule Man. I tell you, you don't hear that and forget it.
Yes, sir. And I'm tickled to death because, like I said, I got it from a real blues man, the Oil Man.
Wow.
Big Jack Johnson, and he which I raised him all my life and traded and horses and mules. So, and I still do.
Wow.
I got 3 of them right now and they asked me, what do they do? I said, nothing. Lays.
Well, that's
Lays,
awesome.
one of them, Big Joe, he's a big black mule with he's like a logging mule. Like his big horses that pull buggies downtown with the big feet.
Yeah,
that's his
Clydesdale.
That's his mama.
Yeah.
That's like how big his mama was. So if this gives you an idea how big this mule is.
Yeah.
And then you take a mammoth jack, which is a donkey the size of a quarter horse. A donkey
small
that's as big as a quarter horse, a big donkey, and you breed them two together, that big old mare, Persian or Clydesdale or whatever you want to call it, and you breed them together, and that's how you get this big mule that would be more of a logging mule.
Okay.
He would, if you had 2 of them, they could go down in the woods and pull out logs.
We're going to have to get you back on this show. We got a few minutes left. If you'd like to say something, send a shout out to some of your friends.
Well, just all of I'm downtown this year on the Memphis in May. And so
Okay.
I play it. I'm very happy to play. My kids always say you ain't nothing till you play Memphis in May. And so this year I'll be on it 1:30 to 2:30 at the Blues Tent Saturday. And
Okay.
then, so I wished all
You said May the 8th?
May the 6th.
6th.
Yeah, it's the Saturday of the Memphis in May Blues Festival.
Yeah.
I believe that's right, May the
First
6th.
week of the Blues Fest.
Yes, sir. And I would just like to invite all the people that's watching your show, and I wanted you to come down and hang out with me. Love to have you.
We'll
And
be there.
my first time out the gate, and then a few hours later, I get to walk over to the FedEx Forum or whatever that building, and my daughter graduates from the University of Memphis. So it's a big day.
Congratulations.
Big day. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and we definitely be in the house. So
please come.
Want to thank you for coming out, being my guest today, and man, this is just awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Looking forward to some of that good guitar playing.
Hey,
it's a tongue twister.
We got a new record coming out in June for Muscle Shows. Been about 9 years since my last one. That had Sun Go Down in Memphis, and She's Not Mine Anymore, and a bunch of other ones. And so I'm excited about the next project. And again, just thank you for what you're doing and continuing to bring attention to people like myself that really needed a pat on the back and you stamping me as a real blues man. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
And he was practicing, I think. But anyway, Big Jack come by my farm. I had pigs, and of course in the summertime it smelled too good. And Big Jack pulled across my yard and went up to the hill, man, and went to the hog pen in his minivan. So I just slipped on my boots and walked up there. And when I did, then he got out, and you know how Big Jack, his nose was pretty, nostrils were pretty big. All I could remember was him going like this.
I'm a big spender. Happy birthday.
I mean, and that smell would knock you down here. I mean, it was swine all the way. And I said, man, what are you doing, Mr. Jack? He said, you don't know how lucky you are. I said, well, my wife don't think you're too doggone lucky. And he said, because it brings back memories of his youth, that smell. And I was like, wow. And so we got on the subject of I didn't have a blues name. Blind Mississippi Morris, a friend of mine, wanted to call me the Duke of Clarksville. I'm like, hell, I don't even know what a Duke is, So, and about that time, one of my mules walked up. And if you get on YouTube, you can look up Mark Muleman Massey and watch about a 10-minute little documentary of my mules back on my farm. I was blessed at the Library of Congress did on me 2 years ago. And but Mr. Michael Ford, I hope he's watching tonight from D.C. Yellow Cat Productions. But anyway, long story shorter, a mule walked up and I went to rubbing the mule, and I said, well, why can't I be called Mule Man? I've been trading horses and mules my whole life. That's going to be your name. We ain't going to call you nothing else.
She's in the lane.
Can I do your Big Jack Johnson song? Will y'all get out of here and cut up a little bit? Y'all already used to it because y'all know where y'all are. Y'all can, man. Let's do this right here. get. Swimming in a long, great big sea. Let's turn this into a juke joint. All you good looking women, fishing deep after me. And I went to my baby's house. I sat down on the step. She said, come on in here if you want. My husband does not left. Check it out. You know what I got? Well, it's two chain around it. Ain't now no Harlem. Go out my way. I said the morning running at midnight. All about the break of day. That's what I will. I was a catfish. I was swimming in all your great big sea. And all of your precious love all over me. I was a catfish. Swimming in a long, great big sea. I had all of them Chicago women. And them Saratoga, Tennessee, too, got y'all. This is deep after me. some of it.
Go on Facebook and I see them.
I'm not a social media person.
I ask you to do something about it. You're the first only girl I've got with one. No, I don't.
Yeah.
You want to do it?
Sweet, baby, sweet. Sound good.
So now you're getting my number.
I got it. Okay.
Done?
Yep.
Now what I do is I go up there.
Y'all pay him out. Hey, you doing good? Yeah. Now, Jack, let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened. See, I went to my baby's house.
Okay. Alright.
And I sat down on the steps.
It's actually
She said, come on in here.
it's fun kindergarten song.
My husband,
Like Austin.
my boyfriend just now left. He showed just now left. So around us two chain around. And ain't got no one of them, Lord, going away.
Oh, so, okay.
I said, oh, I'm about to break it in. Yeah.
I was going to send it to you.
Let me tell you.
Do this. Just for you. Put your hand.
Are you having a good time? Can I hear
Really,
you?
seriously. When I take the picture, I'm not going to do it with you. No,
Oh,
put your hand. Do it right now. Lock the
Don't do
lid.
that.
No, you can look. Just look straight. However you want it.
I can't hold it.
You like that? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
This is the nicest picture. And now, what I
I will.
normally do is, when I meet
To my baby's house. And I sit down.
so you'll see the picture go up. And now I'm
Jack, she said, come on in here.
taking that picture.
Is that what she doing? Oh, you man just now left.
I'm going to do that just for
Short knock just left.
Oh, no one. Okay, so
Short
your
just
picture.
left.
Okay. Delete it.
It looks like that's what they're doing. They're hugging him like to be so everybody
You know,
can play in this.
I wrote this song about, like Mr. Buddy Guy said in an interview not long ago, about you know, all the guys who were losing, all the blues legends, you know. And Masters of the Blues was one that I wrote recently. Well, it's been a few years. But I want to honor all, like Mr. Junior Wells and all the people, man. I watched it all. And I just want to tell you how much it means to be here tonight. I just hope you are enjoying yourself. And well, I'm nervous, I know that, but I'm trying. So we're going to do you one that I wrote called Masters of the Blues. Tell me it ain't true, y'all. I gotta know. Tell me that this ain't true. 'Cause if it is, we've lost another master of the blues. I remember Sunday night, not so very long ago, we used to go down to Tullahoma, Mississippi, down to Junior Kimbrough's juke that is. I gotta know, baby, somebody tell me. Hey, man, that this ain't true. I knew we lost Junior Kimbrough. And now you're telling me we've lost our other side too. They are the masters of the blues. Even we all know that it's true. See, Buddy was just like everybody else. He would support you. He still is. He's still a master of the blues. I gotta know. Somebody tell me. Hey, man, that this ain't true. As far as I can tell you, it is. You lost another master of the blues.
Like